So, something heartbreaking happened. I wrote down all my notes to do this video, and then my laptop crashed, and the notes disappeared. I'd spent like a good hour or two working on those notes, and I think it'd just break my heart to redo them all over again, and it wouldn't be the same anyway. So I figured we'd do something a little different this week. I'm gonna watch the scenes that I was going to talk about, and just pause it as we go along and just talk about them. Hopefully that's okay. I was really impressed with how the video was structured, with what I'd written so far, so it sort of breaks my heart to do this, but here we are. I still wanted to get a video done for you. So, what we're going to look at is we're going to look at two scenes. The first one, the rehearsal of the conversation Nathan was going to have with Angela about what she was really doing here. And then we're going to watch the actual conversation. Now, one thing we're going to do with the first scene is look at how it goes through the 5 stages of grief.
I'm just so confused. You won't let me have the experience I want, but I can't even tell if you're invested in this yourself.
Okay, so that's interesting. You're not letting me have what I want, but I can't even tell if this is what you want, so why are you being so picky? This scene reads more like a breakup than a conversation about work, which is essentially what it is. Nathan is asking his partner, instead of neither of us being happy, how about just one of us be happy? It's very selfish, but you can sort of see where he's coming from. But anyway, this is the first stage of grief, denial. He's denying that there's a problem.
I'm as invested as I can be, but this is all sort of absurd, right? Swapping out the kids through the window, aging them 3 years at a time.
See, it's weird that she says that as if she didn't sign up for it, knowing that it was weird. She seems surprised.
It won't work if you don't try. You have to want it to work.
I feel like that quote tells us a lot more about Nathan than we need to know. Do you reckon he's ever said that to a partner? You need to want it to work. I feel like if you put an effort into a relationship lasting, you're sort of already losing. Don't ask me, I'm divorced with 2 kids. I'm not divorced with 2 kids, I don't know why I said that. Help. The wife left and took the kids. And the existence of marriage counselling sort of goes against what I've just said. That if you need to put effort into it, you've already lost. Maybe I just don't try hard enough, that's possible. Now, you can see that step 2 is in place here. Anger. He's saying, you have to want it to work. You're not wanting it to work. That's step 2 of the 5 stages of grief.
Are you mad that I have been caught up in my work and haven't been prioritizing our family life?
Is it because I've been working too much? Is it because they haven't been prioritizing family life? We're on to bargaining. We're on to step 3.
Because
Nathan,
if so, I'm sorry.
What family life? You know we're not your real family, right? This is your work. All of this.
Ooh, that cuts hard. You can tell. It's like she's got a knife and she's just jabbing at him. She's breaking at the seams of his reality. Just like our world sort of crashes down when we go through a breakup. His world is breaking down here because this is basically a breakup.
I was starting to lose track of which version of myself I was supposed to be in these rehearsals.
So he's starting to lose a sense of himself. He's starting to lose himself, so we're on to depression. Because that's what happens when you're depressed, you lose a sense of yourself, you start losing yourself. He is storming through these stages of grief. Also, it's worth noting that us wondering how much of this is real Nathan, and how much of it is personality, is something we've all been asking since the Nathan For You days, so the fact that now he's wondering as well. We're sort of in unknown waters here, in uncharted waters. We don't know where we're going.
So, is this silly? Or is this something that I should take seriously?
That's pretty much exactly what my mum said when I recommended this show to her. How apt.
It's silly and serious. I mean, it's complicated. Life can be more than one thing, right? Life
can be more than one thing. That seems a really apt sentence. From a show that's all about parallels, it's all about 2 things. Even this conversation they're having right now is one of 2. The Angela he's talking to is one of 2. The house is one of 2. Life can be more than one thing. Nathan is forcing his own idea of reality onto her.
Life's complicated, and why are you even here, huh? What's the real reason, honestly?
Okay, well, why are you here, huh? Why you doing this? Are you really trying to help me? Or am I the silly part that you talk about, huh? Is my life the joke?
Is my life the joke? See, that sort of makes me think about how we've treated Angela the past few weeks. Because we've sort of treated her as the joke. Like she's not real, like she's a character that you love to hate on your favourite sitcom. To be fair, she's brought a lot of it on herself. Insert the clip of her dancing to Ding Dong Daddy from Doomus. I love that. I've uploaded this clip as a short, so go and find it on the channel. And just keep looping it, keep watching it. It doesn't help the channel out in any way, and I don't make any money from it, because shorts don't really make money. But I just like the idea of that song being stuck in everyone's head, because it's been stuck in my head for days. But yeah, we've all sort of made a joke out of Angela, so seeing her defend herself really makes me pause for thought. Have we been unfair to her? We probably have, but I don't know. What do you think? Like I said, this video isn't going to be the best video I've done on the rehearsal. It's very much a stream of consciousness, because the notes that I'd written down had really dissected these two scenes, and I was really proud of them. It breaks my heart to not have them anymore, but anyway, let's just enjoy this time we're spending together. Come on, let's carry on.
Do you sit here with your friends at the end of the day laughing at me?
Is she talking about us there? Because that's what we've been doing. We've all been laughing at Angela. We've all been calling her names. Because she is a fruitcake, and her thoughts are dangerous. Believing that EMF rays are harmful is ridiculous. And it's just spreading misinformation. I don't think anyone has watched this show and went, I really like Angela. She's a very intelligent person. We've all sort of just taken the mickey out of her for 5 weeks. I do feel like she's talking directly to us. We're the friends of Nathan's that she's talking about.
No, you're not the joke. Not at all. No one's the joke. The situations are funny, but interesting too.
He's sort of just defending the whole concept of the show there, isn't he?
Shut up! You're a liar. Because if this were real, you would have some sort of emotion instead of standing there like a rock.
Oof, now you could tell that got to him. It's mad how she's trying to impose on him a sense of wrongdoing. She's saying to him, you're not seeing reality, considering that all of this is fake. None of it's real. She signed up for this lie. It's like she's gone for a little tour of Willy Wonka's chocolate factory and she's shouting at Willy Wonka for things being bizarre. You signed up for it, you won the golden ticket. Why is he pulling the same face he pulled when that girl said, I love you, and he went, again? You could imagine him going, again. I felt something then. I felt something. Do it again.
Do you want to feel something?
I mean, don't we all?
Yeah.
Oof, fake Angela cuts to the soul, doesn't she?
That's sad. You never will.
Wow. This is one of the heaviest moments in television I've seen in a long time. And I'm watching Better Call Saul alongside this. She has cut into Nathan's psyche and she's just torn him apart. The whole point of this rehearsal, the whole point of this show, was for him to try and feel something. I presume, anyway, that's where I take from it. He could reveal next week that it was all an accident, but who knows. So to be told to his face that he'll never feel anything real. God, Nathan, you're making me emotionally. This show is really powerful.
Oh. Okay. Maybe we can try just a nicer version of the interaction there.
Imagine if we could all do that. Imagine if when one of the worst moments of our life happens, one of the worst confrontations of our life happens, we can just go, can we try another take? Can we try that again but be a bit nicer to me? Now what we're about to see here is him accepting it. So he's already been through 4 stages of the 5 stages of grief, and he hasn't even had the real confrontation with Angela yet. But you can't live life like this. You can't live it being protected. Imagine if everything you did you felt confident in doing because you'd already lived out a dozen scenarios and tried it a dozen different times. Life doesn't work like that. Right, let's watch his real confrontation with Angela.
How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Oh, thank you. How are you?
Good.
Good.
I love that awkward interaction. I love that he felt that that was necessary to keep in, because it really was. It shows how much more real this conversation is compared to the previous one. The previous one was much more focused. There wasn't as many fillers, but this is just an awkward filler to start a conversation off, because that's what humans do. It's been a long time since I did linguistics, so I can't remember all the terms. But we have small talk and chat before moving on to a bigger topic, because we can't just go head first into it like you could in the rehearsal. You can't just walk up to someone and go, okay, take one, action.
I was looking at some of the footage from when I was away, out of town.
I love how casually he says that. Imagine if your partner went away for the weekend and she came back and went, "Oh yeah, Mark, I've been watching you through the Ring doorbell camera and here's the feedback I have." Like, you wouldn't just air away. I mean, how much privacy has Angela had? I mean, I presume there's no cameras in the bedroom. I mean, to be fair, what's the worst that we'd see? Him masturbating with a crucifix like The Exorcist. No, there's a mental image I didn't need. Quick, block out the mental image somehow. Much better.
I guess it seems like maybe that when I'm not around, that, you know, you don't care so much about the reality of the experience yet.
See, it's interesting that Nathan has this insight, because we don't know what our partners are like when we're not around. What's that country song? Who are you when I'm not looking? We don't know what people are like when we're away, but Nathan has the benefit of this. So it's strange that he's calling her out on it.
When I'm here, you're very controlling about what I can experience in it.
Oh.
Clicks tongue. Did you see the way she clicked her tongue then? Now, who else in this episode did we see click a tongue? Oh yeah, Nathan's mum. So, in this scene, Angela and Nathan are paralleling Nathan's parents. Also, did you find it weird how Nathan's dad didn't have any lines? Considering the scene with his parents was all about Nathan discovering that he always lets his female partner take the helm in the relationship. I feel like it's notable that the dad didn't have any lines and the mum was sort of in charge. And now with the tongue click, I know it's just a coincidence, but it brought the parallel to mind.
I navigated through a lot of situations that, you know, were difficult and uncertain, and I wasn't given a lot of direction.
Why does this feel like a breakup? It does, doesn't it? It feels like I'm being broken up with you, or I'm the third wheel watching someone else break up with someone. She's talking around the fact that she's gonna leave, and it's written on the wall, but the pin hasn't dropped yet.
I could have been a collaborator with you on this, more so than you've let me.
Angela, a collaborator, this whole thing is you. This is
I'm
your
talking about-
ideal.
Now that's straight out of a breakup. What do you mean you're not happy? It's all been about you. It's always about you. This show is all about parallels and it's beautiful. This is a parallel for a real relationship.
House.
I'm talking about
This
psychologically.
is how you.
I hate Angela, you know. If someone spoke to me and went, "I'm talking about psychologically," and then pointed out their brain as if I didn't know what psychologically meant. Bloody hell, Angela.
This is everything.
But I've never done this before.
Yeah, and neither have I.
No direction.
Neither have
No
I.
direction.
This sounds like two parents talking about the struggles of raising a child for the first time. I suppose it is, isn't it? Because they are raising a child together with no direction. It's just what this is. This show is life through a funhouse mirror. We have a breakup here. We have parents talking about raising a child together. We have a disagreement with a couple. It's like real life. It's so close to real life, but not quite.
Yes.
We're doing okay.
So, originally I wanted the whole thing.
Oh, pin just dropped. This is the beginning of the end. Nathan's now beginning to realise that it's all over.
I wanted 0 to 18.
Yeah, we can still do that.
Yeah, we can still do that. That's like the moment when you're in an argument with your partner and one of you refer to the relationship in the past tense and you're like, hang on, are we breaking up? It's powerful and real. God, I love this show.
Yeah, but it's like kind of almost like, I don't know, I don't see an end in sight. I don't know when we're going to get to the 18-year-olds.
Joke about Dane Cook or Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know. Oh, I got too excited. I got too giddy.
I don't know, you know, and I think it's a good time to bring closure to it. Yeah, I think it's a good time.
Okay.
And there we go. Acceptance. There was no kickoffs from Nathan in this version. He barely spoke a word because he'd already gone through 4 of the stages of grief. All that was left was acceptance, and now that it's actually happened, he's accepted it. It's over.
I feel incredibly blessed.
What is it with religious people and saying, I feel incredibly blessed? Like, not everything's a blessing. You can say some things are just crap and they just happen.
So, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Very
thank
special.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for being a part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That interaction at the end there, nothing happened and it was so uncomfortable. It was just them repeating each other, going, yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. If that interaction happened with us in real life, we'd forget about it in an instant. Well, until like 4 a.m. on a Tuesday one day where we couldn't sleep and all the awkward moments come back into our mind. Just me, might be just me. But we'd forget about it generally. But because we're watching it on TV, we can appreciate this real human moment of awkwardness. What was it that Oscar Wilde said? I'm paraphrasing massively here. He said it in a much more poetical way. Something like, nobody noticed the fog on the Thames until Monet painted them. Nathan putting this awkward nothing moment on television is making us appreciate something so human that happens every day. But we're all here appreciating it right now. It's art. It's beautiful. I love this show. It's one of my favourite shows ever made. I genuinely can't wait until episode 6. What on earth is going to happen in this finale? I really want to know what your thoughts are. Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, I'm going to call this video to a close. I'm sorry it's not been the best, and it's been a lot more off the cuff. I really did put loads of effort into the video for you. The document was wiped, it's gone, and it's broke my heart. But, like all heartbreaks, we've all got to move on, and this video is me moving on. Make me feel a bit better about me being an idiot and accidentally deleting the file by leaving a like and subscribing. You can always unsubscribe at a later date if you don't like what I'm posting. It's completely free. When this show ends, we're going to be reviewing a bunch of other stuff like the new season of Kevin Can F Himself, Rings of Power, House of Dragon, She-Hulk. There's loads of great shows coming up, and I really hope you can stick around and be a part of it with me, and we can talk about them each week. Talk TV with me. Anyway, thank you all for your support. I'm going to call this video to a close now. Bye folks.